RogueCon 23. That's right. It is here. It's not back. It's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at RogueCon23.com. That's RogueCon, RogueCon 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. This is your host, Debbie. Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. I'm your host, Debbie, and today we have a very special guest here in the studio. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Ashley, and I own a small earring business here in Waco called Ash & Palm Co.
Oh, yay! And one of the first questions I always ask is, what brought you to Waco? Or are you Waco native?
So my husband's a Waco native. I unfortunately cannot claim that title. I came down here for Baylor back in 2017.
Wow.
So I graduated in 2020, December.
Congratulations.
And so, thank you. So yeah, I've been down here ever since. I'm in Baylor's physical therapy program right now. So it just made sense to stay here. And
Wow.
I love Waco. I love how it's not too big, but it also doesn't feel too small.
Yeah.
But it has like
Small town,
aspects
big
of both.
city. That's
Right.
what I always say. It has
For
both
sure.
vibes. And we are here today celebrating your 1 year of launching your business.
Yay, yeah.
So what has it been like being a business owner in Waco, Texas?
It's been amazing. I guess I had this dream in undergrad, right when COVID kind of hit. I was making some earrings just based on what I found on Pinterest. I was using like a water bottle to roll my
Wow.
clay out, and
Yeah.
then like a bottle cap to cut the shapes. And so like I was getting better at that and really experimenting with it. And one day my husband said like, hey, you're making all these earrings, like why don't you like start a business with them, like so that you have like something to do with them instead of like laying around the house. And so I was like, that's a good idea. And then after we got married, I was like, okay, I have this gap year, and it seemed like the perfect time to kind of start something up and keep me occupied and really get that creative side of my brain working again.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I started Ash & Palm Co, because I really wanted to inspire creativity with my work. And even if, you don't wear jewelry, or if, my style isn't your thing, I really kind of wanted to get my main message out that like, like start anything, like, find some way to be creative. And so that's what I hope that I can do with my business.
That's a wonderful message behind it. So what is the real mission behind your business?
I would say, kind of piggybacking on top of that to really inspire like confidence and, help people find their own unique style, because I know that my style is like very different from, like
My
other
style.
people's. Or like, but it's like we still have like style, and that's a really great way, I feel like, to outwardly express yourself. And, my earrings can be for everybody. And just to kind of an inward or outward display of my creativity. So I want to inspire that in other people too.
And so why specifically earrings?
I think, I was making them because I really was not an earring person like before all of this. I was like, okay, give me like my, typical like studs that I wear every day that aren't too flashy or anything. But I started looking on Pinterest, and I was like, oh, this is really cool to like create your own and like have it something be unique to yourself. And you can say like, nobody else has this. And so I started doing that, and I was like, oh, earrings, like you can go so many different ways with it. Like I know there's a ton of creators in town, and I love them because we each have a different style. And like you can have the same cutter, but you can do so many different things with it. And so I really liked that aspect of like making earrings.
And now for a word from our sponsors.
Welcome to One Star Rewind. a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.
What's your emergency?
Do you hear that? It's coming from the house.
It's coming from inside the house? Do you mean? Could it be?
The Poltergeist. New from Rogue Media. Two haunted hotties talking about haunted places. Every episode we dive deep into the darkest places and give you a bit of history.
We're getting spooky in all the right places.
You've gobbled your last ghoul.
Follow along for the craziest and spookiest stories with Debbie's Dark Tourism. The Stanley Hotel,
Winchester House,
The Alamo,
Hotel Monte Vista,
and more spooky places. Find us at _Poltergals. POLTERGALS.
Look over your shoulder. It's us,
The Poltergals. Wherever you consume the podcast, you can find us there.
RogueCon 23. That's right, it is here. It's not back, it's here. It's the first one. Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It is all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues, January 20th through the 22nd of 2023. Now, if you want to go, you got to get tickets, and tickets are on sale at roguecon23.com. That's RogueCon, ROGUECON 23.com. Be there. I'm going to be there. Everybody's going to be there. Let's go.
And now, back to the episode.
Yeah, and so you just mentioned, other artists here in the community. So you've been doing pop-ups, right? So tell me about that.
Yeah, so pop-ups like East Side, and I've done the Lulabelle's Market back in October. Those have been amazing to really get to know other artists in the community. Not just clay earring makers, but like painters, like Wendy Davis. I love her. She was one of...
Shout out Wendy.
Yes, she was one of my first like maker friends I ever made. And like we still hang out and everything. And so that's just been like, I don't know, really encouraging to deal with the same, problems that, creators just inevitably have and be able to talk with her about them. And through pop-ups, just meeting, different artists and different styles and ways of thinking. And I've really enjoyed kind of getting to know other people like that in that way.
Yeah. And so just to clarify, you don't have a storefront,
No.
but you've been doing pop-ups and you have some exciting news.
Yeah. So tomorrow, actually, I am launching my website on Friday. So this week has kind of been my anniversary celebration week. So Friday, I'm launching my new website, and I got professional pictures taken by Alexandria at La Francis Rune.
Love her.
She's amazing, and she when I got the pictures back, I was blown away. I was like, I had no clue my product could look that beautiful and like that professional. And so I feel like incorporating that into the website is just that kind of next step for me, to kind of make my business my own and my brand my own. Because I'm on Etsy right now, but it's also it's great. But I feel like having a website is something that I'm able to really curate and kind of style as, my brand style.
So if you could describe your brand in 3 words, what would it be?
That's really hard. I'd probably say unique, creative. That's kind of like everything's creative, but I would
That's
say
good, that's good.
creative.
Okay.
Unique, creative, and then it's hard to find an adjective for this, but like
You can
it's
use
well
one of them.
loved.
It's well loved.
It's
yeah.
well loved. Like I pour a lot of love and heart and soul
Aw.
into my pieces.
Yeah.
So that's how I would kind of describe it.
Yeah. And do you consider each one of your creations as a little piece of you, a little piece of art?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually do my earrings after like I'm done studying for the day, or like I need to take a little study break and use the other side of my brain.
Yep.
An example, like the ones I'm wearing now.
Show off.
Yeah, I made this weekend, and they haven't been like in the shop or anything yet. But I'm like, I want to keep these. Like these are such like
That
a part
happens
of
all the time.
me.
Literally, I'll make something. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep that for me. Put that in
Yeah,
my little
for
pocket.
sure. I'm like, I feel like this like is totally me. Like this is just like
Yeah.
me in an earring. And
Yeah.
so it's really cool to like see those happy accidents happen and then be like, oh yeah, like this is this is me in an earring.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. And so you've been really involved with Waco. So why do you think it's important that you're here now?
I feel like it's important because especially starting out, Waco was such a good city to really make those connections initially. If I was in, maybe Houston or Austin, it would be a little bit difficult for me to start because I'd feel like, oh, this is just like so big, like it's way beyond me. But I feel like Waco has been really accepting of like creatives and makers, and there's so many opportunities if you just look.
Yeah.
And if you make the intention to get plugged in, I think Waco is like, oh yeah, for sure. Like, come on, join us.
Yeah.
And the support group is really amazing because you see the same people at markets and all of that.
Yeah, and that's actually how we met. So
Yeah.
I believe the first time we ever met was at the Downtown Collective meeting.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
At,
I was over at Central Goods.
yes, I was
Yeah,
like,
shout out
Goods
Kate and
place.
Zach. Love you guys. But yeah, that was the first time we ever met. And then we met doing markets together and now just kind of hanging out. And then I do the podcast and now I have you on the podcast. So it's so crazy how we can connect and meet people and get engaged and involved with our community.
For sure.
What is one thing that you would like to see more of in our community or what you would like to see in our community? You can say Trader Joe's. It's fine.
Oh, obviously, yes. Honestly,
I've heard
Trader
multiple
Joe's
people
would
say
be
Papa
amazing.
Do's too, and I was like, is it really that good?
Huh, interesting. Yeah, Trader Joe's for sure. But so probably doing more markets. I know we have like the East Side Market and the Farmers Market, but having more, I guess, just opportunities in general for us to get our products out there, and to really kind of just let the community know that we're here.
Yeah, and you are a young woman-owned business, so you've been doing this. Have you really noticed more acceptance in the community, or have you had any struggles?
It's been generally really accepted. I haven't really had any struggles with it. I guess the main thing would be kind of like my age and like, oh, you're making earrings. Just like I have had a lot of comments in markets when there's been multiple like earring makers be like, oh, this is just another earring maker, or like, oh, this is just like the same thing that we just saw.
Understand,
Right, which I get where they're coming from for sure, but it's also just like the same thing with art. Like you wouldn't compare Picasso and Monet and say like, oh, they're just the same things. I'm not saying I'm a Picasso or anything like that, but it's kind of the same concept of like we each have our different styles and different things that we can bring to the table. But yeah, other than that, I've been felt really accepted, and the community's been great.
Yeah, and so you're celebrating your 1 year now, and we're already most of the way through 2022. So what is one of the goals you would like to accomplish by the end of the year?
Ooh, it's like I feel like I think far ahead, but then like in the moment, I'm like, okay, I can only concentrate like on this month.
Yeah, totally understand.
So one thing that I have been kind of eyeing, other than the website, is getting into a store.
Oh, yay.
Just obviously not having my own storefront because that's just way
too
too
much.
much for me right now. Yeah. But yeah, just like partnering with a local small business and having my product in the store, I think would be easy for people to shop locally. And also just, I don't know, like I feel like that's a big step is, having a product in a store, which would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. And so tell us a little bit more about your name. How'd you come up with it?
Yeah, so I get this question a lot, which is great because it is a little confusing. So my name is Ashley, and
Ash?
that,
Of the Ashley?
Ash, yeah.
Got it, okay.
And that means from the ash tree meadow. I think when I was a kid, I found out what that meant, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I love that. And then, so right around the time I was thinking about my business, we had just gotten married, me and my husband. So we had like a ton of palms at our wedding. That was like our thing. I know.
So sweet. I was not expecting this little story.
Yeah. So this is how my brain works. I just like associate things that are like important to me in the moment. A funny story behind the palms. I was getting my hair done like at a trial appointment, and it was right after the freeze. And I told my husband I saw like all of these dried palms out in the parking lot that were dead, and I was like, oh, this would be perfect. Like, that's exactly what I'm imagining. And then so I come back out of my appointment, and he's like, we gotta go. Like, and I was like, what did you do? And then I look in the back, and there's like all of these palms that he cut while I was in the appointment. And so, yeah, that was amazing. And that's just kind of, I don't know. They're both related to nature and trees and growth. And so I thought like just combining those would be really cute. Add a co on the end, and then there you go.
Beautiful. In the co, in the Waco. There you go.
There you go.
Co in the co.
That's another, another correlation.
But yeah, so give us all of your social media, where you can find you, where you can find more information about you.
Yeah, so again, my website isn't launched yet officially,
Not
but
yet.
It will be linked on my Instagram, and my Instagram is just Ash Palmco, one word undercase. And then I do have a TikTok, along the same lines as Ash Palmco, but I post the same content I do on Instagram. Etsy is Ash Palmco as well, and then when my website is linked, I hope that the name will just be ashpalmco.com.
There you go.
If I can register the name domain. So,
well, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations on making it a whole year. It's been absolutely fantastic knowing you and seeing all your growth. Is there anything else you would like to share with our listeners today?
Yeah, other than just thank you guys for listening, and I hope that this podcast kind of inspired you to see what you can go create, whether that be earrings or, just a coloring book. Honestly, it doesn't have to be something big. So yeah, just go be creative.
All right. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Find us everywhere on all social media platforms, KNOW_Waco. Check us out at roguemedianetwork.com, and we're on YouTube under Rogue Media Network. Check out nowaco.com.
Join the ultimate celebration of digital content with its creators, passionate fans, and industry experts. It's all happening in downtown Waco across multiple venues on January 20th through the 22nd, 2023. Tickets are on sale now at roguecon23.com.